everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about something that I have seen blow up on my social media within the last like 2 weeks. Just like my Facebook, my Instagram, just because I follow other pig owners and pig groups on those type of things. So, or those social media platforms is a better way to call it. But it's talking about, you know, don't leave like your pig and your dog unsupervised. Can you not do that? I'm trying to do Piggy. Leave alone. Leave alone. Sorry, she's messing with my stuff. But how, like, you can't leave your dog or your pig unsupervised, which obviously you don't want to like leave the house. Go away. There's nothing, that's not even food for you. I don't, what are you, you're crazy. Sorry. Having a big distractions. But leaving your dog and your pig in a like unsupervised, which is something you probably shouldn't do much anyway, unless you like know them and you know like, hey, docile pig, docile dog, usually you're good. You always run the risk if you leave them unsupervised of something happening to where, you know, your pig gets hurt or killed, your dog gets hurt or killed, you know, just like they're just animals. That's, unfortunately, that's the thing with having animals, is they can turn on each other in a heartbeat and you don't know why, or you don't, you know, it can happen. So that's always a risk when you leave them unsupervised. Something that I felt like was lacking, or I really desired in that conversation with those people, is talking about safe spaces. And what I mean by safe spaces is like a space where Piggy can go but Ariel can't, or that Ariel can get into but Piggy can't. So you have to have safe spaces in your house, and you need those for cats and dogs anyway. You need them for any type of animal that are different. Sometimes you even need them for different dogs. Sometimes you just have two dogs that don't necessarily get along all the time, and sometimes you need to separate them, and that's okay. Animals are just like people. They have different personalities. They clash with different people. It happens. Don't feel bad about it. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that you have those spaces in your home for those animals. Sorry, it's a grass leaf. I planted ornamental grass in some of my pots just because it's green and it's leafy and it's pretty. So that's what is happening here. That's this little thing. Anyway, so with safe spaces, for Piggy, I have a halfway safe space for both of them. That it was my backyard. Because to get to my backyard from my house, you have to walk down these steps. Piggy cannot walk down these steps. I have to carry her down the steps. She can walk up them and doesn't have a problem. Going down them is different. So if Ariel's in the yard or whatever and she sees me carrying Piggy down the steps, she knows, hey, okay, if I don't want to hang out with the pig, all I gotta do is walk back up the steps. Not a big problem. Or, you know, she'll do that to get away from Piggy sometimes, is just to go down in the yard, and I know, hey, Ariel's in the yard, leave her alone, whatever, not a big deal. Or Piggy. Piggy has her crate castle, which is like 2-3 crates put together. It's covered in blankets. I'll put it in a little picture. But that's her space. Ariel doesn't like crates, so she doesn't go in there. But I mean, it's covered in blankets, so you can't really see it. But you know, I mean, the only reason she goes in there is like to go to sleep or like go to the bathroom. So she likes to have it dark in there. So that's why it's covered in blankets. But I'll put it in a picture anyway. Or for Ariel, she can go downstairs. Piggy doesn't go down steps. She can go up steps and not have an issue, but she doesn't really like going downstairs unless they're carpeted, and usually then she still doesn't like to do it. So she can go downstairs. She can go in Will's gaming room because it's got a baby gate. Another thing that you need to invest in if you have animals are baby gates. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Target. They're not hard, they're not expensive. You can get the wooden one, you can get the metal ones, you can be fancy, whatever, live your life, boo-boo. But you need to get baby gates, specifically for that reason. Ariel can hop over a baby gate, Piggy can't. So if Ariel wants to get away from Piggy, all she has to do is hop over a gate. It's not hard. I feel like when people have those big blow-ups with their animals, it's because they don't have a safe space. That animal has nowhere to go where that other animal can't follow them, and then it causes a conflict, it causes a fight, and then somebody gets hurt. So that's just what I want to talk to you guys about today, is just making sure that you have those safe spaces for those animals. Because no way, in any way, shape, form, whatever, do I want to have to like come home to a hurt Ariel, or possibly a killed Ariel, or a hurt piggy, or possibly a dead pig. Nobody wants to do that. No one wants to come home to that. So just give your animals options. It's really not that hard. It makes it so much safer. If you do leave the house for whatever reason, it's a good idea to put one of them away. I'll always put Piggy in her crate because, let's face it, sometimes when she's unsupervised, she'll dig into the trash can because she's a little turd. So she gets to be put in her crate. Ariel gets left out. But, you know, it's not because I love Ariel more than I love Piggy to leave her out. It's just Piggy's still young. She's still rebellious. She still likes to get into shit that she shouldn't get into, and she knows she shouldn't because she gets in trouble for it all the time, don't you? Chomping your little T-force. But, I mean, if you're ever leaving the house, you need to put one of them away. That's just if in buds, you know. If you're walking out of the room, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to lock an animal away. Just make safe spaces. You know, give them somewhere to go. And that should alleviate all, if not most, of the conflict that you have. Now, I'm not saying you're not still going to get a dog that'll yip, or that'll bite, or not even bite, but like snip, like do the little back up kind of thing. Because Ariel will do that to Piggy sometimes. Like if Ariel's sitting on the couch and Piggy jumps on top of her, she'll make a sound and she'll like do the little nip. She's not trying to hurt her. She's just saying, ow, that hurt. Get off of me, back up. You know, and that's not a bad thing. I'm going to set you guys back down. But you also need to like understand body language. You need to understand, hey, is my dog upset, or is she just like, oh, stupid pig, how rude, you know? It's because there's a difference. Ariel can be kind of like, god dang it, whatever, and like go on, or she can be like, yo, we're gonna throw hands. And those are two totally different body languages, and you need to understand what those look like in your animals, because they're different for every animal. Some animals don't really show a whole lot before they snap. Other animals, you can plainly see that they're getting upset. Things are gonna happen. And that's not a bad thing. You just need to understand your own animals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of conflict can be avoided just by having those spaces. And that was a hair. Oh god. They do really good on a normal basis. Like Ariel's just hanging out, living life. Sorry, my hair's in the way. And Piggy likes to hang out with Ariel. They like to cuddle in bed sometimes. Usually they're good, but there are days where Piggy's kind of a dick, or Ariel's kind of being crabby, and those are the days like, hey, yeah, let's just put up a couple extra baby gates. Don't worry about it. I'm home all the time anyway, so usually, you know, I'm here. It's not a big problem, but I know people who don't have the same lifestyle I have. You know, if you have to leave your animals for hours on ends, just put them in separate rooms. Just avoid it altogether. But you shouldn't feel like you have to just to go from the living room to the kitchen, or to go from, you know, the dining room to your bedroom or something. You shouldn't feel like you have to like immediately lock them up. And that's also getting them used to each other. I feel like it's always harder for the older animal, or the animal you had first, to get used to the new animal. You know, I got Piggy when she was a baby. She didn't know anything about being scared of dogs or cats or whatever. Are you chewing on that log? This girl, happy as can be, just chewing on that stuff. But, I mean, it's always the older animal that has a little bit more of a challenge getting used to having a new fur sister. Whatever. Ariel's been really good. Piggy's the second animal that I've gotten while I've had Ariel. Because I did get a boo-boo, my tiger cat. So she's relatively good with new animals. She never really has a problem with other animals, as long as she's introduced to them in the correct setting. Now that's, good lord. Now that's another thing you guys need to understand, is you need to introduce your pig and your dog, or your dog and your cat, or whatever animal combination, your lizard and moose, whatever, in the correct setting, so they both are comfortable, so they both understand, you know, that this is a thing, that it's not just like, oh, you're gonna see them for 10 minutes and you'll never see them again, you know, whatever. But you need to make sure that you're doing all of these things in the correct way to make it easier on your animal. Because yeah, if you just throw them in a room together and you're like, be friends, probably not going to end well. Probably not a good idea. Don't do that. For the love of God, don't do that. Just because that's going to be a bad situation. Somebody's going to get hurt. You're going to get upset. It's not good. Don't do it. But if you introduce them in the correct way, you give them those spaces, you know, it just makes for like a more harmonious household. And because they're going to be together for the rest of their lives, you guys got to get along, you know. And then you have to give them separate attention. You know, Ariel's more attached to Will than she is for me. Piggy's more attached to me than she is for Will. So, not a big deal. But you got to give them separate love. You know, they're like kids. You just got to give them their own attention, their own space, their own, you know, their own. But anyway, that's just what I want to talk to you guys about. And now I'll put in some pictures and videos of my pigs, so this doesn't seem like a pointless video. But it was educational, wasn't it? But anyway, thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Another thing. I feel like Nikki Mama was the only one I didn't mention. This is my old lady. Isn't she so pretty? She's the queen of the castle. Aren't you? You don't take it from nobody. Except for me. Because I'm your mommy. Oh. Isn't she so pretty, guys? Have all the animals, they said. It'll be fun, they said.